Hey you guys, so this video is going to be my weeks 28 through 29 bump date video. Cannot believe those numbers are coming out of my mouth. Tomorrow I am 30 weeks pregnant, so I like to tell you guys the symptoms I had during specific weeks. So this is going to cover weeks 28 and 29. I cannot believe this right now. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is C. Lee. I would love to have you guys as a subscriber. I like to film all of my pregnancy videos for you guys as well as vlogs, and I would love to have you guys come along for once the baby is actually here. I also will have all of my social media links down below. But let's go ahead and get started with weeks 28 and 29. So, week 28 was a very dramatic week for me. I had found out, I did my first glucose test like I told you guys, and I had found out that I passed the test. However, the doctor wanted me to retake it, and I think I spoke about this in my last bump date video. He wanted me to retake it because he felt like it was a little bit high, and because I am at risk for gestational diabetes because I do have diabetes in my family, which I'm just going to brush on this for a quick second. If you have diabetes in your family, kind of consider how they got diabetes, because a lot of times diabetes is caused by diet, and the person who has it in my family, it was caused because of a poor diet. So to just assume that I would have it was a little frustrating, but that's kind of how the whole medical game goes. So the doctor just thought I was at more risk for having gestational diabetes. My number was a little bit on the higher end of normal, so he wanted me to retake it because I explained to him all of the drama that kind of went on that day, because it was a very stressful and crazy day. I have vlogs about it and I talked about it I think in my last bump date video. It was just not a normal testing day. So he had me retake my 1-hour glucose test during week 28, and I passed with flying colors. There was no issues whatsoever. I do not have gestational diabetes. I cried when I found out, because if you are told that you're at risk, or if you are told you need to do the 3-hour or anything like that, like, you just immediately assume that you have it. And so when I was told that I didn't and everything was good to go, I literally just cried. That happened week 28. I was very stressed out because of it, but all is good, and I'm so glad that those days are behind me. So again, the next note I have is stress the entire week over the dumb test. On week 28, I had my 28-week appointment on that Monday, and everything checked out great. My fundal height was great. Everything was measuring perfect. The doctor who I had saw that day was amazing. She was a midwife, actually. She was amazing and just had a really good appointment. At that appointment, I also got the Tdap shot, which I was watching my girl Natalie's video and been talking to her, and she's told me that the shot hurt her so bad, and I didn't have any reaction to it whatsoever. She gave me the shot. It didn't hurt at all. Like, I don't feel shots. I don't know if it's because, like, I have extra meat on me or what. Shots don't faze me, or at least the ones I've gotten recently. It didn't burn going in. I didn't even feel it until the following day. My arm was like minorly sore. It kind of just felt like a bruise. And I don't even think it showed anything on my arm. So I was totally fine with the Tdap shot, but I did get that during my 28-week appointment, and then the following days when I did the glucose test. After the glucose test, I stressed the rest of the week hoping that I passed the test, because I had it in my head I wouldn't. I was like, oh, I must have gestational diabetes. So that whole week I stressed out, and finally we got the good news and everything was good. I put, it really broke my spirits, but thankfully all is good. So yes, my spirits were broken. Again, I felt like a failure. I felt like, oh my gosh. And I know gestational diabetes is something, number one, you can't give yourself gestational diabetes. The placenta and your body just reacts a certain way, and that's how you get it. But for some reason, I was just beating myself up. It's my first pregnancy, and being told that I had that just was something that was kind of scary to me. And so I just was really low spirits. But even if I did have it, there's nothing wrong with having it as long as you're, like, treating it. So I was just being dramatic and pregnant, hormonal. I'm sure anyone who has gone through the same thing, you guys felt the same exact way. It's not the greatest thing in the world to hear. I put baby's getting much stronger and his kicks are very strong. Yes, his kicks are getting much stronger. There's some days that he's a little bit more quiet than other days. I seem to feel him a lot as long as I'm, like, laying down and after I just drank water. Like, I'm trying to drink so much water. And so that's when I feel him the most, but otherwise there's some days that he's just very quiet. I'm not sure if I noted it during this week, but I am super positive that he is now head down. At my 20-week appointment, he was head up, and I am like 99% sure that he's head down, only because of the way that I'm feeling his kicks. I feel his kicks a lot in my ribs, so unless his arms are like up playing in my ribs or whatnot, I feel him a lot in my ribs. Those are the types of kicks that make you jump, and they're a little more uncomfortable. They don't hurt, but they're like, you don't really want him, like I feel like he is like burrowing his hands in my ribs, and like when I lay on my side in the bed, I feel like he like shoves his arms and legs like between my belly, so like the uterus I guess, and like the bed. I just feel like he shoves his hand in there, and like I don't know, he seems to like to hide in all these like small areas. So I love feeling him move. He's getting a lot stronger, and I can tell like he's just getting bigger. And I think at that point, at 28 weeks, he's supposed to weigh around like 2 pounds, or maybe like almost 2 pounds, but now at this point, he's closer to 3 pounds. I put felt first hiccups, wasn't sure what they were before. So yeah, I was feeling like a pulse, and this is probably gonna sound very weird, but you guys are at my bump date video, so this is what you get. I was feeling a pulse in like my butt area, kind of like, and I don't even really want to call my butt, but like my butt cheeks, kind of, sort of. Like anytime I would sit down like I am right now, I would feel like a pulse, just like very low down, whether it was my butt, just whatever. That's the best place to, that's the best way of saying it. I would feel like a pulsing, and it would be opposite from like, or not even opposite, but just out of rhythm with my heartbeat. So I didn't really know what it was for a little bit, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, if he is head down, which that's how I know he has to be, probably, I think. I feel his hiccups very low down, and I ended up realizing that's probably what it was. So that's kind of what made me start to think that he was head down. And I have to say, I feel a little bit more discomfort now that he is head down. Before, I didn't feel a lot of discomfort, but I am feeling a little bit more. And I believe this is the case. I don't really know if he's head down. Hopefully the doctors will be able to tell soon. But I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming this. This is all out of assumption. But yeah, so I started feeling the hiccups. Let me know if you guys ever felt it in like your butt. I know that sounds weird. I put he moves a ton with cold water and yummy food. So yeah, whenever I eat or drink, that's when he moves a ton. So now on to week 29. I put acid reflux, which you guys are probably tired of hearing me say, but I'm starting to have it to where like almost every single night in the middle of the night, the acid is coming up into like my mouth almost. So I have been having to take Tums. I take 1 Tum per symptom. So like if I start feeling heartburn, I'll just immediately take 1 Tum. And doing that, I cut my intake dramatically, and I also made it to where I don't seem to have as much acid reflux. So it's still there, but I feel like I have a really good system to get rid of it. So as long as you just take 1, don't take like 2 or 3 or 4 in one sitting. Take 1. I seem to take like maybe 3 a day now, whereas before I was definitely taking the 6 that you were allowed to take. I'm taking about 3 and I'm good to go. During week 29, I was having dizzy spells revolving around food time. If I ate too late, I got dizzy after eating. So yeah, I still had that happen a lot. I don't know if that's like more when you get towards maybe being hyperglycemic. I'm not too sure why that comes about, but yeah, like depending on what time I eat, I'll get dizzy once I finally do eat. And I don't know if it's the blood rushing from my head to my stomach to digest the food or what it is, but that happens like maybe twice a week the past 2 weeks. So like maybe 4 times total the past 2 weeks, if that. It's not really a huge symptom, but it is something that I do note because it has happened. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the fan on because being pregnant, I am hot all the time. So that's my next symptom. I am hot all the time now. So the next thing that I have is swollen feet. I've now started to get swollen feet at nighttime, which I really don't like. It's not that bad. It's only minor, but it's enough for me to like look at my feet and be disgusted. Like, why do my feet look like this? I can't even see my ankles. So swollen feet have now come into my life, and stretch marks. I think I mentioned that at the last bump date, but yeah. Your girl has stretch marks now. I've earned my tiger stripes, and it sucks. It's probably the one thing that I wanted to try to avoid. I had posted something many weeks back about like stretch marks, like oil. I knew that it would not prevent stretch marks, but I thought it was helping. I still got them, you guys. So your girl has earned her tiger stripes, and it's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but I'll take it. This is where I noted I'm pretty sure he's head down now. I feel hiccups sometimes in my butt, also feeling lots of kicks and ribs, which I already mentioned to you guys. Lots more stomach aches. I wake up to a stomach ache most mornings. Yeah, for some reason, like if I don't use my pregnancy pillow, or even I guess if I do use it lately, my stomach, I don't know if it's indigestion or what, but I'll wake up to like my stomach hurting, and I've definitely been having a lot more stomach pains. I don't know if I even talked about this, but last weekend I ended up having a really weird symptom of feeling like I really needed to go to the bathroom really bad, and almost like period cramps. So I was having like some weird cramping / I needed to go to the bathroom. I don't know what it was, but like I didn't actually have to go to the bathroom. It felt like I did. And so I don't know what that was about, but I have had some weird digestive issues officially. I mean, I don't know, it's just weird. I do get a lot more stomach aches. I just feel like a mixture with like the whole acid reflux and like my intestines being moved around from being pregnant and just all this different stuff is just adding to it. But yeah, my stomach, I just get more stomach aches and it's not, I don't love it. Cramping in calves, been happening for a while, easy to relieve by stretching foot. So yeah, when you're laying in bed and you stretch out, like, because usually my legs are bent, so when I would like stretch my legs out to like being straight, I would get like I don't even want to call it quite a Charlie horse because it wasn't that severe, but I would start to notice that my calves would start to kind of sort of cramp a little bit, and as long as you like flex your foot up, the cramp like completely goes away. And it's not all the time, but lately, if I don't drink enough water, that will happen. But for the most part, this has just started for me. I try to keep it under wraps. I try to drink so much water, you guys. Like, I'm trying to literally, like, drink an ocean a day. I don't know if that's what's helped, but I do get the cramps every now and again if I don't drink enough water. Pretty exhausted. I either have tons of energy or zero. Yeah, so some days I'll like, especially in the daytime, I'll have a lot of energy and then completely have to crash. Like even this morning, I woke up this morning exhausted. Last night, exhausted. Was in bed by like 9. I woke up today at like 9:30 and still like had zero energy. I had breakfast, didn't help. Drank coffee, didn't help. Started drinking water, that helped a little bit. And then once I finally had lunch, I was good to go. So that's been another thing I've noticed. This wasn't the first day that's happened. After I eat is when I finally get enough energy to be able to like do something. I wasn't even sure I'd be able to film this video, is how exhausted I was this morning. I got my breast pump. So last week we ordered my breast pump. They sent us the wrong one at first, but then they ended up sending us the right one. Let me know if you have used both the Medela and the Spectra. Please let me know which one was your favorite, the pros and cons and everything about it. That would be really helpful. Really been such a huge blessing is just hearing how excited everybody else is for this journey as well. And just seeing the grandparents just so excited to meet him, and that's honestly made me excited now. I thought by week 30 I would be freaking out, but honestly I just feel excitement now. I am so excited to meet him. I'm not ready. I want him to still cook, but I'm just so excited to meet him, and I know when the day comes I'm gonna be like just ready for it. But I think it's like instinct. Honestly, once you start getting further along your pregnancy, I just believe it's instinct that makes you really want to meet them and not be so afraid. So let's go ahead and jump into the bump shot. Anyway, that's everything that I have for this bump date for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you want to check out my social media links, I will have them all down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care, everyone.